So, are you thinking about relocating to Seattle and want to know some of the main steps to make it easy? Well, this video, I'm going to tell you 5 steps to make it easy to move to Seattle. Hey everybody, this is Tova Williamson, and on this channel we shoot tons of videos of what it's like to live in Seattle, Washington. So if those are the types of videos you want to see more of, go ahead and subscribe and click the bell icon and you'll be notified every time new videos come out. We honestly get reach outs every day from people that are relocating to the area and just need help. We love hearing from you guys, but we can't help unless you give us a call. So call, email, text, whatever you got to do, because we've got your back when you move into Seattle. All right, so today we're talking about some of the top 5 things that you can do when you're moving to Seattle to make your life a little bit easier. So number 1 is call me. That's why I do these videos. I like to help people who are moving to the area. I'm a local realtor in the area, and I can just help give you some pointers and tips on what to know when you're moving here. So we give you the phone number, call, email, text, give us a call, because we always want to help you and help people that are moving to the area. So that's number 1. Number 2, I think, is to try to visit before if you can. I know it's not always possible with time or money. People can't always make it out here, but I think it's a really good idea to see it in person before you move out. Like, you can watch as many videos and look at pictures and maps and all of that, but sometimes you can't always like tell the vibe of an area or something without seeing it in person. So I think it's just really important, because the area, like, there's so many different like neighborhoods and just suburbs and different lifestyles here. You can have like the more urban lifestyle, more rural, more suburban. So there's a lot of different neighborhoods and areas to live. So I just think it's really good for people to see it in person. Also, just like house hunting or apartment hunting, it's good to just see what your money gets you here, because I think sometimes some people are moving from some other areas, they don't realize like how expensive it is here and what your money can get you. And on pictures, sometimes things look good. It's like, oh yeah, that looks like a great apartment. Then you see it in person and you're like, oh, maybe not. So I think it's just good if you can, if possible, to make a visit out here before, just to make sure that like, yep, this is the place you want to be. Number 3, know the costs here. It's definitely more expensive here than a lot of other areas. It's a big city. There's just a lot going on here. So I think it's just really important to know the costs. I have other videos here that talk about cost of living in the area. So I think that can be helpful, but I think sometimes some people, especially if you're moving from like a smaller area, just get a little bit of sticker shock here. It's like, whoa, okay. It costs, $4 for gas. What is it? $4 for a gallon of gas. I was thinking pound. $4 for a gallon of gas right now. So, it's just definitely more expensive. So just being aware of the cost, being aware of, your income and your housing and just what that's going to get you and what kind of lifestyle you're going to live here. Are you going to be like squeezed, or are you going to have like some extra room to like have some fun in your budget? So I think that's really important. Number 4 is just meeting people. I know it's hard. I know a lot of people that move here and they talk about the Seattle freeze, where people here are really polite, but they're not overly friendly. They're not just going to invite you over for dinner after the first time you meet you. So, it can be hard for people that are moving here. It's helpful if you know someone here. I know that's not always possible if you're moving here for a job, you haven't met anyone. But if you can, try to maybe meet people at your work. There's a lot of meetup groups. You can volunteer at different museums as ways to meet people. But I think it just really helps to get to know some people, get kind of a group of friends, and don't be surprised if it takes a little bit of time. Like, Seattle's kind of like a tough nut to crack. You got to kind of work it, kind of finesse it a little bit. People here are not just like overly warm and friendly like some other areas. So, and I think that's kind of a shock to people. And it's not like people are like necessarily maybe rude and don't care, but people kind of just are more introverted here. So just I think it's something to be aware of, and just to know that ahead of time when you're moving here, that it might just take a little bit longer to find your like group of people. But it definitely can be done. I mean, I've lived here about 11 years, and I was lucky. The first job I had here, I met a lot of like some of my best friends that I still have now. So it's definitely doable. I think a big part is you get what you give. You know, if you come here with the attitude that, oh, everybody sucks, everybody's mean, well, nobody's going to want to hang out with you because you're kind of like a sour sport. So just, you know, knowing that, trying to be friendly, not overly, it's just kind of the way it is here, but it's good to know some people in advance if you can. And number 5, I think is kind of a basic thing, but have a job lined up. I think that's really helpful anytime you're moving to any place. I know sometimes people are like, oh, I just want to move and go for it. And if you want to have that free spirit, great, go for it. But it can just be hard, you know, again, to meet people, it can be really hard to find an apartment or buy a house if you don't have a job. You know, most lenders aren't going to loan to you. Most landlords aren't going to rent if you don't have income coming in. So it's really nice to have a job lined up. It also helps just in determining like where you're going to live. Like if you move here and find an apartment and are able to get something without having income, and then you find a job and it's like, oh, it's on this other opposite end of town, it's going to take me an hour to commute. You know, it's just helpful to know where you're going to be working every day to determine where you're going to live. Give you kind of a good starting point. So it's just a good idea. You don't always have to. If you want to just be a free flower, go ahead and don't move with a job, but it's just nice to have something lined up. So there you have it. Those are some of the top 5 things that I think will help making your move to Seattle easy and relocating. So hopefully that was helpful. Moving to Seattle can be tough, especially when you're trying to find the right spot and you just don't really know about the area. So that's what we're here for. We're here to help. We want to help. We love hearing from you guys, but we can't help unless you reach out. So give us a call, email, text, however you want to get a hold of us. We got your back when we move into Seattle.